And we are recording. Welcome, whoever's watching this.
Be
if
angrier,
anyone.
Jamie.
I'm not bitter.
Someone's had a day.
Well, it's all right because this episode is more comedic than anything else. So I'm just counterbalancing it with my snark here at the beginning.
We don't want people to watch and laugh.
Yeah,
God,
get
no.
you. Who needs an audience? We do
We're
this for
Dungeon
the
Master
art.
Cast. We don't
Yeah.
expect audience.
We're Dungeon Master Cast. We don't care if people are watching. Wait, what?
All right. Well, welcome. This episode of the Vulpecula is number 6 in the series. It is entitled Manhunt. It was written by Tracy Torme on March 29th, 1989, and is adapted by me for this series. Tonight, I'm going to go in the order on my screen. We have Tony Senator, and she is going to be playing Heshti and Starthorn and Deezik. And then there's me. I'll be doing the narration and Shepard. Hopefully I won't steal any lines from Tony because that happened during rehearsal. And then we have Bennett Cousins, who is playing Exuzia and Voras. And Kurt Johnson, who is playing Spike, as well as Frostwind. Michael T. Coleman will be playing only one character, Elhorn. He's the only one with a single character. And then Rachel Bieber, she is going to be reading for Zenori as well as Viola. All right, so we will get started. After spending a few hours on Kestrel, we have loaded a few hundred pounds worth of fabric and dozens of cases of whiskey. As the Vulpecula is a merchant ship, we not only carry cargo, but also the occasional passenger. Before we set sail to the land of the Coat, we will take on a very special guest. The Vulpecula is docked at a Kestrel port. The captain addresses the crew.
Men, during the next leg of our journey, we will be host to an ambassador. She is concluding her business on Kestrel and has paid passage to Coat. I expect each of you to show her the same respect you give me.
Where is she from, sir?
Paradox.
Oh my.
You have something to add, Quartermaster.
Do you know her name, sir?
You will address her as Ambassador, but her name is Viola Icegarden.
Frostwind rolls his head back and lets out a sigh.
Something the matter?
She's my mother. I should warn you, she is a bit uncommon.
Well, that says a lot coming from a Fae.
You have no idea.
From the dock, a female Fae standing next to a short satyr calls out.
Is that my little Dooney?
She is much taller than the average Fae, with most of her height being in 2 antlers with 5 points on each. Her curly blonde hair falls down to her waist and is decorated with feathers, flowers, and crystals. She has a fawn-like face with icy blue eyes. Her corset shimmers with shades of purple, and the green dress... Did anyone else hear that siren? Sorry.
Yes, I can hear your siren.
She's being chased by police.
Yes, she's being chased by police from the dock onto the ship. Her corset shimmers with shades of purple, and the green dress flares out twice as far as her shoulders.
Oh, it is you. Come, come, give us a kiss.
Frostwind sheepishly looks at the captain.
Permission to leave ship and greet the ambassador.
Elhorn smirks at Exuzia, and then back to Frostwind.
Granted.
Frostwind steps onto the dock and rubs noses with Viola.
Deezik, take my things on ahead.
The satyr, who wears only a purple vest that perfectly matches Viola's, picks up a large chest and boards the ship.
I see you have a new valet. What happened to Mick?
Oh, I had to get rid of him. I caught him sniffing my unmentionables.
They step onto the deck, and Viola greets Exuzia.
You must be the captain.
I am Chief Mate, Exuzia.
Oh, no, my dear. Your spirit is far too strong to be contained by such a low title.
Mama.
I am Captain Virian Elhorn. Welcome aboard the Vulpecula.
Viola extends her hand, palm down.
I am Viola Icegarden, keeper of the sacred oaths, creator of whimsy, and ambassador of paradox. You may kiss my hand.
Elhorn hesitates, but obliges out of respect and a sense of duty.
Now you may show me to my cabin.
I will do that, Mama. The captain has other duties.
Viola takes Elhorn's arm.
What could be more pressing than escorting an ambassador?
Elhorn has been cornered.
Yes. Well, come this way. Exusia, get us underway.
Aye, sir.
Frostwind, Viola, and Elhorn walk.
Tell me, Captain, is there a lady in your life?
Ask that of any captain, and the answer will always be his ship.
Oh, you know what I mean. It must get awfully lonely out on the open water.
Being a member of a crew means you are never alone.
Yes, but what about companionship, romance, intimacy, and sex?
Mama!
Oh, don't act like you didn't know what... Oh, don't act like I didn't know what you were doing as a young one during all those hours alone in the privy. It's a wonder he didn't rub off all of his fur.
I can take you below to your cabin. Thank you, Captain. We will let you get back to your duty.
Frostwind firmly escorts Viola down the stairs. Interior guest cabin, later.
Mama, you need to guard your tongue. The crew is not as free with their thoughts as the Fae.
A trait I hope you are not learning. I'm all for you spreading your wings and finding your way in the world, so long as you don't lose who you are.
I know who I am, and I know how to fit in here. I ask that you try to do the same.
Oh, I'm like a chameleon. I'll blend right in.
Says the woman with crystals hanging from her antlers.
Well, there's blending in, and then there's being a wallflower.
I doubt anyone would accuse you of that. What brings you on board?
I'm on a goodwill tour across Eldaroon, trying to better relations with our neighbors.
Paradox doesn't have any neighbors. It exists on a plane only accessible by Fae, the lost, the insane, and imaginative children.
Oh, you know what I mean. It never hurts to have friends on the other side.
I need to return to the deck. The captain mentioned a formal dinner in your honor tonight, so be respectful.
Always.
Later that evening, the crew is gathered in the galley, wearing their finest clothes. The long wooden table is covered with a white cloth and a crimson runner down the middle. The silver place settings reflect the dancing candlelight. Starthorn stands in the corner playing a light tune on his wheel fiddle.
Frostwind, we've been waiting for half an hour. The ambassador is aware of the time.
Mama enjoys making an entrance.
Well, if she has us wait much longer, she will be entering an empty room.
Would you like me to go check on her, sir?
Yes, and
The satyr Disick enters the galley, not wearing a shirt.
Oh no.
Disick makes an announcement to the room.
Presenting Keeper of the Secret Oaths, Creator of Whimsy, Ambassador of Paradox, Viola Icegarden.
Viola enters not wearing a stitch of clothing. Her mostly fawn body is covered in a finely manicured fur. The crew is surprised and curious, but no more uncomfortable than looking at an animal in the forest.
Mama, I apologize, Captain.
Oh, Dooney, hush! You said this dinner is in my honor, so I shall attend in my natural state.
Ambassador, I have reserved you a seat next to me near the head of the table.
Elhorn pulls out the seat to the right of the captain's chair. Viola walks past it and sits in his seat at the head of the table.
Thank you, Varian, but this chair looks much more comfortable.
That is the captain's seat.
Oh, don't be so rigid, Miss Demon.
As Viola sits, Elhorn resigns himself to sitting at her right hand. The crew takes their seats.
Doesn't everyone look handsome? Especially you, Varian. Who knew you had such nice legs?
Some of the crew exchange glances and smiles.
Don't you agree, Exusia?
I haven't...
Oh, he's a fine specimen, strong, forthright. Perhaps a little dull, but nothing bad.
Mama, you sound like a merchant sizing up a good.
It's natural to size up others. Would anyone here disagree with my assessment of the captain?
I would think the ability to measure another would be a valuable skill as an ambassador.
And you would be correct.
Oh, what do you see in me?
Oh, what spirit you have, young dragon. You have the mind of an academic, but walk in a way that tells me you could handle yourself in a fight. If I were to guess, I'd say you have nobility in your blood. All right, Heshti, let's allow the ambassador to enjoy her supper.
It's a fascinating skill. Is it learned or hereditary?
I would call it a talent improved with practice. Isn't that right, Dooney?
Frostwind gives a shy look.
I tried to no end to get him to practice, but once he learned about numbers and mathematics, it was like trying to take a bone away from a dog. No offense, Miss Demon.
Voras gives a quick grunt.
Frostwind has the same ability as you?
Of course, yes. He has lots of secrets hidden under all that fur. With practice, the talent can not only reveal truth about a person, but give strong indications to what they are thinking.
How so?
Right now, your captain is wondering if I am seeing any other men.
Elhorn gives a surprised look.
That was a joke.
Ah, yes. Very good.
Ambassador, will you be visiting the Breach Isles?
Miss Demon, as much as I would like to improve relations with your kind, I fear your hatred of Fae is dyed in the wool.
Do you see that hatred in me?
To be honest, I haven't bothered to look.
Perhaps you should.
Viol examines Voras for a moment.
Very well.
Her eyes scan her demonic frame. She boldly stares into the black pools of her eyes.
What a terrific landscape. While there is the expected caustic propensity for violence, I feel it is overpowered by a ferocious will. The battle between your heart and mind is exhausting. You thirst for peace. Peace within yourself and for your kind. You surprise me.
If that is true, perhaps others will as well.
You are right, Miss... What was your name?
Voras.
Voras. I apologize for my earlier prejudice. I would very much like to meet more demon kind who share your ideas. Perhaps our two cultures could one day commune as you and I have.
Perhaps.
Let us enjoy the meal.
Captain, I think I'll retire. You honor me, but I need to rest.
Viola stands, as does the crew. She exits, and Dizik follows.
Voras, you have done the impossible.
What is that?
You've left my mother speechless.
The next morning, on the deck, Shepard is on watch with Exousia and Starthorn. Chief, ship bearing 311 signaling to talk.
Starthorn, respond, we receive.
Aye, sir.
They signal that they wish to trade.
Under what flag?
Coat, sir.
Intercept?
Aye, sir.
A few minutes later, the two ships are adjacent and stopped. A weathered but well-dressed man calls from the ship.
Ahoy there! Spike Dalton of the merchant ship Waxia.
Ahoy! Chief Mate Exousia of the Vulpecula. Blech. Ahoy! Chief Mate Exousia of the Vulpecula. You signaled you want to trade.
Aye. I've acquired some cooking oil from the Eastern Expanse on my way to Kestrel. But if you can give me a better price, it'll save me from going all the way there.
Sounds good. Come aboard.
The ships steer together, and Spike climbs up the ladder.
Greetings. You'd be doing me a great favor if we could strike a deal. I've got a sample right here.
Voras takes the bottle from Spike's hand and opens it. She pours some oil onto her hand, smells it, and tastes it.
Thick consistency. Mild smell. Mellow taste. It is of good quality. How much?
I could go as low as 5 coppers per bottle.
The average person in Port Frey lives on less than 3 silver per month. Can you come down a bit?
Well, these bottles are a bit larger than average, so they'll last longer. But I can go down to 4.
I was thinking 1.
I can do 1 if you throw in some of your goods as well. What do you have?
Let's take a look.
The two barter for a while. Later, they are finishing up with a dozen cases of oil sitting on the deck. Captain Elhorn ascends from his cabin.
How was business?
Excellent, Captain. We are getting a fair trade of oil for a bit of surplus cloth.
Good. It is always better to sail into port with a variety of goods.
Viola enters the deck from her cabin. She is wearing white leather pants with knee-high khaki boots and matching gloves and a white bolero. Behind her enters Dizik, wearing a white leather vest.
Good morning, Ambassador. Dizik. Did you rest well?
I always sleep well when at sea.
We have the fortune of conducting some business this morning. It happens from time to time that we will pass another merchant and are able to exchange goods.
Oh, not with this pirate, I hope.
Ma'am?
I assure you, I am not a pirate.
Oh, your greedy little mind is as open as a book.
I beg your pardon?
You'll be begging for mercy from Miss Voras if you try to pull that dagger you have hidden in your belt buckle.
Voras draws her sword and has it to Spike's neck before Spike can even touch the buckle.
Those crates are full of bottled seawater.
We inspected every one of them.
Yes, you are very diligent in your work, but you can't see past the enchantment.
Viola pushes the top off a crate and pulls out a bottle. She lowers it to Dizik, who bites off the cork. She pours the oil onto her handkerchief.
Dizik, if you will.
Dizik snaps his fingers and a flame begins to burn in his palm.
Cooking oil is highly flammable.
Viola holds the handkerchief over the flame and nothing happens. She drops the soggy cloth into Dizik's palm and extinguishes the flame with a hiss.
In a few hours, the enchantment would wear off, and you would see for yourselves that these bottles, except for the one good sample, are full of brine. But by then, this degenerate would have been long gone.
Elhorn stands toe-to-toe with Spike.
Under the maritime law of Adalrune, you are hereby found guilty of piracy. Chief, destroy his cargo. Ambassador, you may want to go below. We have to conduct some unpleasant business.
Oh, I'm not as delicate as you think. After today, I won't be able to say I've never seen a man branded a pirate.
As you wish.
Elhorn looks
Chief.
at Spike.
Have Chef stoke the fire. Voras, I'll give you the honor of this task.
Voras smiles, revealing dozens of slick teeth. Later that evening, the Vulpecula is at full sail at sunset. Elhorn is at the wheel, with Exousia by his side, as he speaks to Viola.
Ambassador, your being on board was fortuitous. We would have taken quite a loss from that scoundrel.
I doubt he'll be very profitable with that new stamp you gave him.
I should think not.
How much farther until we reach the coast?
3 days.
Oh, plenty of time for me to wear you down.
Ambassador,
Come now, Virion. You've seen me naked. It's only fair that you return the favor.
ma'am,
Oh, relax. Have a sense of humor. I'll be down in the galley.
Viola leans in and whispers in the captain's ear.
I'm feeling a bit peckish.
As she walks away, she pinches his bottom. Elhorn steels himself and focuses on the horizon. A few days later, in the wee hours of the night, in the galley, Elhorn enters.
Captain, so good of you to join me. Sit.
I didn't mean to intrude. I was getting a snack. I'll leave you be.
Oh, don't be silly. Come.
Elhorn sits on the opposite end of the long table.
Can you hear me from down there, or should I send a carrier pigeon?
Elhorn reluctantly stands and sits closer.
Much better.
Viola pours Elhorn a glass and hands it to him.
To elven men who, despite their faults, have the ability to charm women on every corner of the ocean.
Speaking for elven men, which is a huge responsibility. I thank you.
They drink.
I would have assumed you would be asleep. We arrive at port in the morning.
Never assume anything when it comes to Viola Icegarden. A Fey woman is full of surprises.
Elhorn thinks, desperate to change the subject.
Your son has been a fine addition to the crew. You should be very proud.
No,
You're not proud?
I'm not letting you change the subject.
What subject is that?
Virian, you and I are both highly successful, intelligent, attractive, sexual beings. There is no reason we can't enjoy one another's company.
Ambassador.
Viola.
Ambassador. It would be inappropriate.
Viola puts her hand upon his.
You're quite the gentleman, aren't you?
I try to be.
Viola stands and looks out the window.
It's different for us, you know, women. As we grow older, if you get a white hair, you look distinguished. For us, we look like a crone. Your wrinkles make you look rugged, mine make me look haggard. If an old man is alone, he can lightly be called a bachelor playing the field, but an old single woman is just sad and lonely.
Viola's voice catches as she, for the first time, displays genuine emotion. Elhorn stands next to her.
Ambassador. Viola. You have raised an admirable son. You have the respect of your race and of everyone on this ship. I doubt very much that you will end up alone.
Oh, you're just saying that.
A gentleman never lies.
Viola gives a sad but brightening smile.
It would be all right if you put your arm around me as a friend.
It would be my honor.
Elhorn places a comforting arm across her shoulders as they look out the window. Exterior deck the next day. The ship is docked and Viola is about to depart.
Dooney, do promise me to practice your talents more often and write me every time you reach port.
I will, Mother.
And take care of your captain. I'd like to see him again all in one piece.
Viola kisses Frostwind and walks to Elhorn.
Thank you for our chat, Virian.
It was my pleasure.
I know you have a reputation to keep, so I'll not ask for a hug.
Much appreciated.
Viola gives Elhorn a wink and walks to the gangplank. Just before she descends, she turns and speaks loud enough for everyone to hear.
Why, Virian, what naughty thoughts you have!
She exits. Exousia smiles and the captain snaps his head in her direction.
Not a word, Chief.
Yay, well done.
Ba-dum-bum.
Huzzah! We did a thing.
We did a thing.
We did a thing that has aged very oddly since original.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, what?
In that way that an 80s rom-com is not that bad?
The randy woman trying to bed Picard?
More the not taking no for an answer.
Oh, yeah. He has issues with that.